comes to you compliments. Renwick Thompson and Company Limited. Agents for Western Union.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Back in the room. Good morning again, everybody. You guys hearing me? I'm not hearing myself. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I think we're up and running now. Okay, good. Good morning again, everyone. Welcome back to the room. Welcome back to the show on this Tuesday, April 25th. The final Tuesday in the month of April. Yeah, just about ready to kick April out the door. Shout out to all the folks celebrating birthdays today. Or if you're like myself, just celebrating life. Good morning. Hope all is well on your end. Hey, Jacqueline. How come you're reaching here so early? Good morning. Good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning, Christelle. Jay, good morning. Morning, Marianne. Morning, Linda. Good morning, Della. Good morning, Shantae. Good morning, Rita. As soon as you guys come on in, just tap the share button so others can view the live. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning, Hermelin. How are you? Hope all is well. Come on in quickly, guys. I swear time waits on no one. Before you know it, it's a wrap. I swear I started working like a couple seconds ago. Eddie in Florida, good morning. Happy to have you here. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Winston in Brooklyn is here as well. Good morning, Winston. Shout out to the guys at the barber shop. Not sure if you're there, but anyways, good morning. What power giving away, Jacqueline? I didn't get the memo. No. Morning, Janelle. Morning, Val. Good morning, Sonia. Sonia, listen. I think I'm about to quit. I think I'm about to call it a day with these Jamaican vloggers, and I can't keep up. I'm over in TikTok these days. I'm following World Dog and Brittany and Swissley. Listen, TikTok is there's just so much you find over there. It's light, it's jokes, it's inspirational, but there are folks trying to bring the heavy vibes. Listen, Jamaica always a keep. Doesn't matter where. There's always something going on these platforms owned by Jamaicans. It's always something, I swear. But it keeps me entertained. It makes for good entertainment. So, and of course the usual suspects on Facebook, the T lady and the D lady and the Majesty man. And listen, social media is almost like, before you know it, people wouldn't even be looking at television. You have your radio, listen to your music, and that's about it. Good morning, Marcus. Everybody come on in the room. We're about to jump inside. Good morning to our viewers on YouTube. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning to our listeners on 95.1 and 95.3. And good morning to those listening and viewing via Facebook. Sharon says there's more Jamaicans on TikTok than any other region. I swear. You see, the day, in everything in life, there are advantages and disadvantages. Now, when everything was free and it was merely for entertainment purposes, it's like people didn't have to do so much. But now that these platforms are paying content creators, whether through stars or whether through you buy gifts and you gift them, it's like people are going over the top. They're doing the most to, get viewers and to, get paid. And it doesn't matter if it's cursing each other out every day, discrediting each other, defaming each other, long as it brings in a coin, they're there for it. So as with everything else, during the COVID, people were out of jobs, and the owners of these platforms thought it was a good idea to pay people for creating content, but I'm not sure the content they were referring to is people going on live every day to curse each other out. I don't think that kind of content. I think they were looking from a more artistic point of view. You share stuff, whether you're a chef, whether you're an artist, you sing your songs, or you sell stuff, or you're a comedian, and you can provide entertainment to people. I don't think that's what they meant, but boy, it's always some mix up. But anyways, we are not, the Jamaicans love it, but we ain't too far behind, because I swear we're about to campaign again for our next election, like starting this month. It's like the PM called election, the date for election. Jeez, y'all didn't plan to stop like anytime soon? Like, I swear, like every day it's something. Now the new thing is bingo. The current administration decided, as part of their celebration to mark their 1-year anniversary in office, they're gonna throw a bingo or whatever. Y'all take that now and it's a whole football. It's like, was it that bad, or did it just get worse, or has it always been like that? Are people just more outspoken now, so it seems like it wasn't happening, But I don't know, boy. It just seemed like y'all have no intention of just letting peace reign, and that the country run as it's supposed to, and when you get opportunity again to go to the polls, you do that. It's like everything is to discredit everything, nothing worth complimenting, everything is criticism, everything is, boy, how do y'all do it? I mean, sometimes just reading a couple statuses leaves me drained, like mentally drained. So imagine putting out that energy every day. Y'all don't like get tired. I think it's okay to say when somebody's doing something good, and then it's also okay to criticize when they're not. But it's like nothing somebody ever does pleases people. It's like you could do nothing right. It's like once you're not in support of something or somebody, it doesn't matter. Once it's you could be selling a bag juice for $1, and somebody else could be selling it for $3. But because it's you, people would rather buy the bag juice for $3 and not buy it for $1, because they don't want you getting that support. Y'all be doing too much. Janelle, I'm gonna block you. What is this B15 and I9 and N6 going on my life? There ain't no bingo here. But it's just too much. It's like let's just breathe and enjoy life. We have so much to be thankful for if you pay attention to what's happening in the news. Trinidad and Jamaica and St. Lucia, every day somebody's getting shot, somebody's getting killed, but for the most part we have a little incident here and there, but we're relatively still safe, and knock on wood, something to give thanks for. Yes, we got issues, but like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day or a night. So constructive criticism, but not, people just love criticizing for criticizing's sake. Because to me, it's okay to criticize, but if you're giving constructive criticism, like you say, you know what, I don't like this, but maybe you can try this, but it's just, I don't like this, the end. No advice, no contribution as to how you can make it better. It's just to pull down and tear down, and boy, yeah. Anywho, shout out all my artists on the outside. Some good news for you guys. So I hope we will see a bigger turnout and some of the artists returning to the stage. 100K, 80,000 cash and 20,000 in kind. So it's not a bad look. You see, step by step. Again, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, so things are looking up. Things are looking up in some quarters. Could definitely be better in other quarters, but like I said, Sometimes, if you can't offer something constructive to the conversation, it's cool to sit it out, you know? But there are some people every single waking moment is complain. Complain. Criticize. Yeah, I be doing too much. Hummelin, I'm not sure what the kind is. I guess it's kind from sponsors or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is the kind, but I'm thinking that's what it would be, you know, from stakeholders and sponsors or what have you. Offer the rest in monetary prizes. Could be phones, could be, I don't know, different things. We have an issue on our hand today of a married couple. I ain't gonna lie, these days it's like all the married people are coming over here. It's like life isn't kosher at all in your marital homes. You guys are not encouraging at all. But for the most part, people are still going down the aisle. And again, I keep saying, and it's something I recognize my own self, that we jump into the relationship, jump into marriage, and we don't really have these open, frank conversations. We just brush the top, skim the top, and we don't go deep. We don't ask the uncomfortable questions. We don't ask the probing questions. We just ask what's comfortable and convenient, you know, and what makes us feel good. And then later on, when things really start to get sticky, you have a problem. But like my mom always say, see me and come live with me are two different things. Making a pass by occasionally isn't the same as living together, waking up together every day, being in each other's face every day. I just say me, no, you know. I'm all for keeping us on two islands. Women on one, men on one. You go over, the coitus, you go back, and everybody go about their business. Because we didn't seem to be doing it well together at all. We should one on board Cherry Island and another one on another island. We just don't seem to be getting it right. I don't know why. But the lady says she's been married 4 years, and both of them entered the marriage with one child. And she said that his son is very disrespectful, and my husband allows him to do anything and tells me I have to accept it. Right now his son and I haven't spoken in 2 months. He says he's not forcing his son to talk to me and that I must respect his son. The child heard this. I am 47, child is 16. My son, on the other hand, is not disrespectful. He will grumble or talk back, but I correct him and tell him it's not right. My stepson does things that he knows will cause his father and I to go at it. I love this boy, but as I told his father, his manners and attitude it rank. And when I got into this marriage, my aim was to build a family. I brought up that little boy's average from the 30s to the 70s and helped him pass his exams. He's disrespected me, so I did not go to his graduation. When his hand got broken, I was the one who ran up and down with him. If I'm buying things for my son, I buy the equal amount for him. Anything he tells his father, he believes. My father says I pick on his son more than mine. He never tells him he's wrong and always tries to make me look bad in front of the boys. My stepson did not know his mom. She died when he was 2 and he was raised by his grandparents. He was spoiled. My husband is saying I am too stern, but I am frustrated. I think my stepson is seeking his father's attention and tries to do things to get it, which in turn hurts me in the process. Every fuss between my husband and myself is because of the stepson. I asked him to go to counseling and he said he does not want people in his business. I told his family members all that I am going through, and because they asked him about it, he got upset. Everything she says is falling apart. Now he's telling me to go back to my mom because the first time we had issues, I went to my mom and stayed for 2 weeks. So every time there is a fuss, he says that. He says he's done and he and his son are all right, and he'll take care of his son and he should take care of mine. He doesn't eat when I cook, so I stop. We are sleeping head and tail. What a piece of mix-up on this Tuesday morning. You're sleeping head and tail. I don't want to laugh, but it's funny. Imagine you're sleeping on a bed with your husband and head and tail. Your head up and your foot down. Yo. That is crazy. For just 4 years. It's a difficult situation. It is. This is a super difficult situation. But does it have to be Jacqueline? But does it have to be a lost cause? You guys think it's a lost cause, or it can be salvaged? Do you think it's impossible? I mean, if what you're saying is true, though, I must commend you for your diligence in raising your stepson and doing all that you've done for him while still being there for your own son. It is evident that you love your husband and both the boys very much. It's also evident that you want your marriage to work and you have not given up on your family. And, you know, that too is commendable, I think. You know, they say challenges with family life are typical and teens generally can be a handful to manage. So maybe the first thing that is needed in order to find a solution to the situation will be a determination to try to make it work by at least one person. You seem to have that determination, so you might have to be the more mature one, since father is neither here nor there. But from what I was told, you know, because you're not the only person going through situations like this. I have spoken to people who, you know, came into their relationships with, you know, child or children, and, you know, it can be challenging. It's a typical challenge in a family arrangement like yours. When two people get married having their own children separately, there's always the risk of siding, you know? It's the relationship dynamic you've chosen. Marrying a man with a child and also having your own takes some work to, you know, ensure harmony in the home. So if I were to advise you, don't blame yourself. The situation apparently isn't your fault or misdeed on your part. It seems your husband and you may have different parenting styles. Whatever happens, I'm confident your stepson will remember who helped him get ahead when he's matured and settled down. You've done the heavy lifting, you know, to keep your family progressing in a healthy way. So take comfort in that you've done well. And also it's important to be patient. You know, though it can be tough, I will still encourage you to remain respectful to your husband and stepson. They're seemingly caught in a bit of emotional confusion, so probably you need to stay focused as you search for the answer to this present situation. And remember that the boys will both be adults in a flash, and then it will be just your husband and yourself for the first time. And if you love your husband, hang in there as best as you can, you know? I'm not sure if you've thought about calling a family meeting, if you can get all four of you to have this, you know, have a powwow, you know, try to plan some away time together, have a meeting just the four of you, because you suggested the counseling and husband says he doesn't want people in his business, yada, yada, yada. So it seems as though you're going to have to sort it out amongst yourself. You've tried to involve other family members and he's not too happy with that either. So if he genuinely wants it to work, and he has not given up already, maybe you can suggest I impressed nothing, Janelle. It's like the same thing every morning. It keeps dropping. The internet keeps dropping. So I need to come to you. You're the perfect person to come sort out my problem. The internet is bugging every morning around this time. I've noticed it for the past couple of days. So yeah, as I was saying, it's not an easy situation, you know? And I think that calling a family meeting and asking everyone to share their input and make suggestions and might be the way to go. And also you should be prepared, remain prepared for the worst, even though you should hope for and work toward the best. Have a plan of action in case you do not get the cooperation from your husband on the efforts. You could make plans for your son and yourself to sit with a counselor in the event the family separates. But I pray that both your husband and yourself will, have the wisdom and strength to manage the situation, and that your home will have the peace and happiness you deserve. Bringing children into a situation, taking on the task, as Sheena says, of a step parent is not an easy task. And like she says, I don't blame anyone for not wanting to date people with children. What is that? Yeah, so it's a tough situation. So we need to no Janelle, we have you. So don't even play it. We have you. We're dealing with you. No. We got you, Janelle. I'm working with you. Alright, so let me hear what some of you have to say. Someone says it drops because it have the most load. I don't know what it is, but it's usually around this time that I get I have the most issues. So guys, if you are in a situation like that or been in a situation like that, can you share some advice as to how she can make it work? Or is it in Salvador? Should she just go on about her business? Should she just throw in the towel? Should she give it another try? Because apparently it's not working. And homeboy already told her she can go back to him. You're 47 years old and a man sending you back in your mother place. What? So they say good to have you on, eh? Imagine you're 47 years old, married, and your husband telling you go back in your mother house. Like, wow. Imagine going in your mother house, going to stay in your mother house. Someone says it would not change, speaking from experience. Really, Chichi Mark, it really wouldn't? Oh. Someone says the stepson know that the way that man treats his wife, the stepson is trying to break up the relationship. It's clear that both of them do not care how it is affecting you and the relationship. I see they are both forcing you out. I mean, how would you encourage your son to disrespect your wife? And you're basically saying you can't tell him. So, like, who's the father and who is the child? He says that is not. Imagine you're living in a house with a 16-year-old and not saying a word to him for 2 months. And instead of the father putting his feet down and saying, listen, at the end of the day, this is your stepmother. This is my wife. And respect is due. I will not, tolerate you being disrespectful to her, especially when she's not being disrespectful to you or trying to make this work. So imagine as a son, you have your father on your side and basically encouraging you to be disrespectful. How does that work? He says that he's not forcing his son to talk to you and that you must respect his son. But your son is 16 years old. The wife must respect his son, but it seems like that respect is one way and not both ways. It's not that you both should respect each other. I expect you to respect my son and I expect my son to respect you. How do you tell your wife that you expect her to respect your son, but your son is being disrespectful? I mean, I know people try to, especially like she said, the son grew up with the grandparents, the mother died. And you might try to overcompensate for not being there. You might feel a sense of guilt for not being in your son's life from an early age, and he was left in the care of grandparents. So now you're trying to, make up for the time that you lost. And that doesn't matter if you lose your wife in the process, but you're trying to make up for the time that you lost and overcompensate for not being there. And that is the energy I'm getting from this. Because I don't understand how you get me married. You're married for 4 years. Both of you entered with one child. Your son is allowed to be disrespectful, and you allow him to be that way. And he tells you you have to accept your son being disrespectful. If that is the case, I don't see it getting better. Plus, he doesn't want to do counseling. You can talk until the cows come home. Nothing is going to change. And nothing going to change. And again, we're just going on what we know. There's always more than one side to a story. It could be she's leaving things out, or maybe there's things she's doing that contributing to him being disrespectful. But as I can always say, I can only go on what I know. I can't go on assumptions or maybe that's what it is. I can only trust that the situation is as, presented to us. It might be another part of the story. And it'll be helpful if we had the other people involved sometimes giving their part so we could have a better understanding. But most time, as in life, a lot of people will say stuff or, look at the good parts, the parts that makes them look good and makes them look like, the saint and the victim when they are actually contributing to the problem themselves. But they leave out that part, but talk about what the other person is doing, but would not say what they're doing to contribute to it. So, I don't know. Could be that as well. But again, I choose not to go on my own assumptions and just go on what's presented to me and hope, cross my heart, that it's the truth and nothing but the truth.
Miss, all is lost already. The man want to go, the man wants you out. Don't stay, go.
Listen to yourself, but all is lost. Why it has to be lost? Someone says it's because you're living in a man house, but by right you should hit him some good box for his freshness and deal with him accordingly because of the marriage. Can't go hit him, people, children. She's like the mother. It says the man is wrong for not making her correct his wrong. For her, I would say let the son do his thing and she continue doing what she needs to do and not tell the son anything. Because when children reach teenage age and you give them the leverage, like if they are on the parents' level, it makes them disrespect the other partner. And there's a lot of disrespect going on here. A whole lot of it. So I'm not sure how she should. What do you guys think she should do? It says regardless, the man said he and his son can live without her. She's fighting a losing battle. So you're the perfect stepmother. Someone says Aruna, the dad, will support his son no matter what, no matter the complaint and concerns. So Chichi, you sound like somebody who's been in a situation like that. So you're speaking from experience. Nikki says it seems like the grandparents born in 2010 because most kids who grew up with grandparents are not disrespectful unless that individual provoked that child. There might be something more, but like I said, I can't go on what I think. I can only go on what I have, the evidence before me, the information before me. It could very well be she's provoking him in some way, or it could be what she said. She's trying her best and he just does not have any respect for her. And I know of situations like that where people will say, you know what, you're not my mother, can't tell me what to do, I only listen to my dad. And when you see the main denominator, right, in all of this is the husband / father. Because as a man, you're supposed to be the head of your home. You can't have your home running around you or you running around your house. That's not making sense. And if you realize there's discord and there's problems, you as the father should be the one to say, you know what? We seem to have a problem here. Something is going on here and it's disrupting the peace in this home. Now, as a family, let's sit and talk about it. What is the issue, my son, that you have? And what are some of the issues as my wife that you have? Put it all on the table. But based on what she's saying, she seems to be the one wanting to have that sort through those problems, while him, on the other hand, couldn't care less. As the head of the home, you should be the one to speak to your son and to your wife and bring peace. I mean, something is off because on the one hand, she says that her son, she didn't paint him to be a perfect son because she says he gives answers back and stuff and grumbles and what, but she tries to correct, but she corrects him, maybe in the husband's presence. But on the other hand, the son is allowed, her stepson is allowed to disrespect her, and the father says nothing, when his role should be to tell that said son, listen, this is my wife, this is your stepmother, and I will not allow you to disrespect her. You have to do better than that. What are the issues? Is she treating you in a way that makes you unhappy and uncomfortable? What is causing the disrespect? And again, I'm going on what she said. I'm going on what the scenario said. I can't speak on what I don't know. I can't speak on assumptions. I'm just going on what she said. So the fact that he's saying those things in front of the son gives the son more speed to further disrespect her based on what she's saying. In the son's hearing, telling her certain things, then there's never going to be peace or any sort of respect in that home. So if the man is saying to you, since you all had problems before and you pack up and go in your mother's house, that you could go back in your mother's house and he and his son could be alright, you ain't getting a chance to tell me that twice, to be honest. My mother always say, never let a man tell you more than once he wants you. One time, 2 times, 3 times, no. Someone says she needs to do what makes her happy, continue seeking your child's interest and pay no attention to him and his child, so you can see that they need to have a conversation. Some children lose respect because they look at the person as not their parents, so who are you to tell me what to do? And then after a time, it will lead to disrespect, even to the father in the public. The man tell the lady she could go back in she mother's house. He and his son go be okay. So if you have a whole husband and the man, instead of saying, no, let's find a way to sort through these issues that we are having and bring some peace and stability to our home, and his way is to say, go in your mother's house. Wow. Wait, now you have a whole situation going on my phone over here, I didn't even know that. That's another lady's room. Wow, listen to you. You're not even you know what? Talk about loyalty. You're loyal even in your absence. Wow. Talk about loyalty, Cicely, son. Very loyal. Oh boy. Back and out in the country. Any song say I'm more like a cow. I need to come off. Hey, that's a time, right? Good time for me to come off because I have another situation brewing. I'm getting some tea here that I need to go drink. I need to come off, y'all. I'm done with y'all right now. This tea over here is way hotter. This person says she needs to pack up and leave because you will not get any better unless the father have that conversation and put his foot down. maybe he would see the importance of a father. Sometimes, too, that child lacking motherly love. There's a number of things. Like I said, it could be a sense of guilt on the father's part, knowing he was not present in that child's life for a number of years while the child lived with grandparents and the child, mother died, so he did not grow up with a mother. So there could be a number of things that's going on with the said son that makes him react in that way and lash out in a way. Counseling and therapy is always recommended, but the father is dead set against it. He sees it as people being in his business. But I think there's more to it in terms of what a child is going through. I don't think it's ever easy for a child to not know their mother, and maybe being in the home and seeing the other son having his mother's love and him not having a mother could be affecting him in some way or the other. But as the father, it is your place to ensure that your child is okay, mentally, physically, financially, whateverly, and he could be acting out for a reason and not just doing it because he wants to do it. So just saying, okay, you and your son will be okay without, digging deeper or getting some sort of counseling or other help, it's like, I don't get it. Not just saying y'all be okay means y'all be okay. Get help, seek help. He could be going through a lot as well. You ever thought of not growing up with a mother? Even though you have your grandparents or it is not the same. Could never replace a mother's love, not knowing what it feels like to call mommy. I don't know. Let's see, a whole different conversation going on with Jackie and Sheena and Janelle, and like, you see me? Let me go and look for my tea over there and forget you out here. Look, they gone off on a whole different conversation. Who Jackie brother said? Say what? What? She not the nice dark skin one. Who dark skin? What conversation that just bung away inside my life here, and y'all just, you know what? Y'all goodbye. Let me go find my business, because I don't understand what's going on here between Sheena, Jackie, and Janelle. Where this conversation just reaching a whole next man? Y'all was going so good, following along, and you reach out. Anyway, someone says, did the two of you even discuss what a blended family will look like before you tied the knot? Did you discuss boundaries and discipline? Was there any discussion with the kids about how this new family may look and feel? Sometimes as adults, we make decisions without considering how they would affect our kids. If, as your husband says, you're too strict, then maybe ease up a little bit. At 16, your stepson is too old for some strange woman to come in trying to play mommy when he never had one. Your husband, on the other hand, needs to have a talk with his son and get him in line. Having to adjust to a new family dynamic is no excuse for being disrespectful. I love that. It's a really, really good bit of advice right there. Someone says, don't leave your husband. I was once like that. I really hated my stepfather, plus I was my mom's only child. I felt like this man was attacking me and trying to put my mom against me. Probably the child feels that exact same way. My advice to you is leave the child alone. If his father not telling him anything, why bother yourself? Focus on yours, let your husband deal with his child. The child and his dad probably know something you don't know. So a small man could get away with anything because he has secrets. But how do you live in a house where she's disrespected by both child and father and not say anything? It's a toxic environment to raise a child. I'm sorry. Not saying anything, just doing you and doing your child, and the four of you live under the same roof. I don't get it. Terrence, her friends learn well from here. They bong away. Do as my mother used to say, do as I say, not as I do. I didn't tell y'all to come here and do the same thing that I do. Anyways, guys, we'll reconvene tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the forenoon. Thank you so much, Western Union, for checking in and taking care of us for another day. Thank you so much to everybody on the WhatsApp. Thank you, everybody on the live, Facebook and YouTube for viewing. And for those of you listening via radio, thank you so much. We'll have another show tomorrow. Same time, same place. All right?